Look, you're in shock, I'm in shock, I think we're all in shock here. I spent the entire night of Wednesday, that is the moment I found out that Rushia had been terminated from Hololive, spending the entire day chatting away with my friends on Discord, and it was really late at night, so I'm really sorry I wasn't able to get this video out further. As such, I'm not really going to go over how I feel about this incident until at the debriefing at the very end, because I personally just don't really feel like talking about it until later, because I've already talked about it with everyone else. Without further ado, let's just get into the cold hard facts, shall we? Alright, so I'm sure everyone here who's watching this video is already familiar with the Rushia situation, and for anyone who isn't caught up, I simply suggest you look it up. But for those already invested in the video or something, or just too lazy to click off, here's the background info in careful order. Rushia was already getting cancelled by her fans due to a small Discord notification that had popped up. If you don't know about this, seriously click off this video, just go look it up right now. And basically it revealed that she was communicating with a Japanese songwriter named Mafu, who is a pretty famous guy in his own right. It was mostly limited to a vocal minority of Japanese fans, as most English fans, and heck, even most Japanese fans didn't actually care about whether Rushia might have potentially been single or dating someone. Just a side note, she's not dating anyone, just so y'all know. But unfortunately, a vocal minority can seem quite big, and it seems that Rushia did begin to crack underneath the pressure. Now, we've always known that Rushia's health was never really the best, and we know doubly more so that she doesn't really seem like the sort of person that deals with stress all too well. On the 14th, Korekore stepped forward with a statement saying that the lives of their talents is their own decisions to make, and that the fans, or at least those haters, don't have the right to dictate who dates who. There wasn't anything an angry mob could do about it. I commend Korekore for this decision. It was very brave, and it was very nice. Eventually, Rushia contacted a Japanese drama YouTuber named Korekore. He's famously known as a Japanese Keemstar. In this, she revealed a lot of information to him, and apparently some of it was a violation of her NDA contract, and essentially this is likely what led her to being fired. Terminated. Not graduating, but terminating. Now, before we move on, there's a lot of misinformation going around, not limited to. Korekore waited to throw Rushia under the bus, because some people are saying that Korekore basically threw Rushia under the bus because they didn't want her dating anyone. That's blatantly untrue. I guess there's a chance, but it's probably not true. There's another side saying that Rushia planned this all along, and that Rushia purposefully threw out this information to stir up drama, and she's paying the price for it. Again, we have no evidence she did that whatsoever. I mean, yeah, it could be true, but anyone with half a brain can see that this is very unlikely. Now, absence of evidence does not mean evidence of absence. That's what I'm saying to the whole Ghost of Kiev thing. That one Ukrainian pilot that is apparently an epic Giga Chad. Basically an Ace Combat protagonist in real life. But you see, unlike the Ghost of Kiev, which even if untrue can be a very useful propaganda, not propaganda, but like a motivational tool for the Ukrainians, this is slander. This is libel. This is gossip that directly hurts people. And so until there's more evidence, I hope people would stop making such comments. Despite this, you got to admit, Rushia did technically violate her NDA contract, which is why, even though I really love Rushia, I really love all her videos, I do understand Korekore's decision to cancel her. And not only do I understand, I do recognize that that was the only choice they had. She did leak company details she wasn't allowed to leak. A lot of people are going, oh no, poor Rushia and the evil company. While I also saw a lot of haters claiming that it is completely Rushia's fault. Heck, I saw some sickos celebrating it. This isn't true. I'm about to tell you my own opinion on what I think happened with Rushia. But I still do think there really were no villains in this whole scenario. At least that's my opinion. That's what I think. If you disagree, you disagree, but that's personally what I think. Now, upon my whole discussion with Rushia yesterday on Discord and all, or 2 days ago from when this uploads, I found a comment saying that Rushia and Korekore were friends. Now, I looked into this. I did not find any evidence that Rushia and Korekore are friends. But I did find out that they had contact with each other going back quite some time.
でですね、去年のこれ11月なんですけど、疎遠になっていた、ウルハ・ルシアさんの中の人がですね、LINE が急に来たんですよ。 で、その時僕生放送中だったんですけど、相談が来て、話を、聞きましたと。実は、今私は、まふまふさんとご飯に行ったり、仲が良くなったり、付き合う手前まで行きそうで、でも、過去の女性関係のことなどを、しつこく聞いたことで喧嘩になったと。そこで、これこさんにまふまふさんの女性関係の暴露話があるなら教えてほしいといういわゆるですね、そういうことで俺に連絡してきたんだと。持ってたとしても勝手にその情報を仲がいいで、しかも別にこの時はもう久々の連絡で仲も良くなかった、仲もいいとか悪いとかなかったんで、それを勝手に教えることはさすがにできないなと。その後しばらくね、連絡がなく、明けましておめでとうの LINE は来ました。はい、おめでとうございます。で、それ以降も連絡はなかったんですよ。で、この状態でからのこれなんですよね。これが出てしまったと。すぐにですね、なんか僕のところに LINE が来てですね、相談がありますと。その出てしまったマフマフさん件について。
Now, initially when I saw these clips, I was a bit creeped out. I was like, Rushia, why would you ask Korekore intel on Mafu Mafu's foreign previous relationships? Was Rushia's acting like a yandere not purely a joke and actually slightly reflective of her true personality? That's when I heard someone say, my god, why do all women want to know about your previous relationships? Sexist comment aside, apparently Mafu Mafu was very kind to Rushia and she wanted to know, did Mafu Mafu treat all girls this way or was she truly something special? And that is something I do want to mention. Although Rushia and Mafu Mafu are not dating, they are not living together, Rushia did like Mafu Mafu. And honestly, I'm rooting for her, honestly. I hope you get him. Although, I'm gonna be frank here, after this whole scenario, I don't know how it's gonna play out. Ultimately, it was a pretty one-sided relationship. I still hope you two get together, honestly, but I don't know, it doesn't seem very likely. All in all, we do know that Rushia did trust Korekore a bit.
で、さっき言った2018年の匂わせに関しては、本当に同棲もしてないし、付き合ってもないですというその証拠の DM があったんで、出しますということで、このように提示したんですね。はい。当時炎上した時に、こちら、まふまふさんとは同棲してませんと。はい。で、これね、ちょっとね、今から話すことは本人は言わないでくれって言ってたんですけど、これはもう言った方がいいなというもう俺の判断で言うんですけど、一応証拠として部屋の写真もわざわざ見せてもらったんですよ。だからその同棲してたらそもそも部屋が同性の部屋になってるし、家にいるだろうし、こう分かるじゃないですか、部屋で。だからわざわざ送ってくれたんですけど、この写真出さないでくださいね、話さないでくださいって言われたんですけど、一応そういうのをもらいましたと。はい、で、まふまふから送られてきたディスコードのこの文章。
Boom! That right there. Korekore said something he shouldn't have. I'm not sure if Rushia was backstabbed by Korekore and he just didn't care about the consequences of what would happen to Rushia, or if Korekore was just being careless. Personally, I find this one more likely. He was just being careless and thought, what's the worst that could happen, and decided to say it anyways. But either way, the fact that Korekore said all this is problematic. Now, I have no idea whether Rushia went to Korekore out of desperation, or if it was because Korekore was the only person she felt safe enough to tell all this to. The only one she felt would be willing to hear her out properly. Or both. Either way, Rushia went to Korekore to clear up her name against the whole allegations of Rushia and Mafu Mafu dating. I can also say it backfired horribly. Obviously, we have no way of knowing for sure. There was definitely more intel leaked to Korekore that we don't really have information of, and I doubt that Korekore will ever really release the information because, well, it's NDA protected for a reason. I doubt Korekore is going to want to linger on this for too long. It's really not a good look for them. However, I have heard some speculation online, and while this is not ideal, logically I do believe that some of these explanations are probable. I do believe that it is she potentially leaked the identities and relationships statuses of her coworkers, whether that is her fellow idols or if any of the identities of any of the other workers at Korekore. Basically, the theory states that Rushia might have told Korekore about all the other girls and where they live and their relationships to other girls. Maybe it was a move of, see, I don't live with Mafu Mafu, but look at this girl. She lives over here with another guy. Look at her. She's in a relationship with him. Who knows? Maybe they're even married or something. Either way, it was a very It seems to me like a very desperate move, like a move that someone who's not entirely thinking straight would pull. Alternatively, I have also heard that Rushia used her business account again to tell this to Korekore, and this caused her to accidentally leak intel that she never meant to leak. Yeah, you shouldn't have made the same mistake twice, Rushia. Honestly, as shitty as this whole situation is, and the way despite the fact that I really don't like this, I kind of can't blame Korekore for doing what they did. It was the lawful thing to do. Rushia broke an NDA contract, and even if she was a victim in all this, the fact is she broke an NDA contract. You could get sued for this kind of thing. I don't believe Korekore will sue Rushia because, they don't want to drag this on for too long. But really, this really disproves everything everyone was saying about, Korekore conspired to let her go. Like, there is no reason Korekore would let Rushia go because of the Mafu controversy. It would completely destroy their reputation, especially with overseas fans. Even now, there are those who call for a complete boycott of Korekore. Yes, letting Rushia go has damaged their reputation that much. On the other hand, I really don't believe any of the people that say Rushia did this purposely as a final FU to Korekore. Not only did Korekore step in to defend her back during the earlier days of the controversy, but Rushia has real no reason to. It's been established that she has good friends, she has good relations with all the other idols, and for a while, everyone knew that Rushia was really good friends with everyone else. So yes, that's another theory gone. I think it's also really sad that Rushia was terminated and not graduated. Honestly, this feels a lot worse than Kiryu Koko's graduation, because, Kiryu Koko left of her own accord, and she went out with her bang, her stream being one of the most watched VTuber streams in VTuber history. She broke so many records on her way out. She really went out with a bang. Yes, it was bittersweet, but Kiryu Koko went out as a legend, and people still follow her, still follow Kason because of Kiryu Koko. People still love Koko. It's different with Rushia. It was so sudden, it was so abrupt. No final stream, no final goodbye, just a flatline. In short, I guess you could say the moral of the story is, don't use your business account for personal things. It's not worth it. I really hope those Gachikoi unicorns got what they wanted, because if this was what they wanted, you got it, guys. Anyways, that's all for this little informational video, I guess. I'll see you on the other side. Bye.